First tip, you need to find a model. Of course, you can photograph a plaster head, but this is only useful for practicing lighting. Shooting a plaster head is useful, but quite a boring task. It's best to start learning on real people right away. The first thing that comes to mind is to start shooting your relatives and friends, but there's one thing here, the nature of which I don't fully understand. Very often, shooting close friends turns into some kind of chaos. Your friend doesn't see you as a photographer, and you don't see your friend as a model. Everything seems not so serious. Maybe it will be different with your friends, but in any case, a valuable experience is photographing strangers. Shooting strangers is a completely different feeling and a very useful skill. In addition, by making new acquaintances, you expand your circle of communication, and more people become interested in your work. And this is very important for a photographer. So the first tip, try to shoot unfamiliar people. Second tip, so where to find unfamiliar models? The first simplest way is to search through friends or colleagues at work. Ask a friend who among her acquaintances whom you personally do not know, she would recommend for a photo session. The second way is to seek professional models and pay them for posing. But personally, I don't find this approach very successful, especially for novice photographers, though it's a matter of taste. The third way I like more is to look for models through TFP, time for print, communities. TFP is a format of shooting where no one pays anyone. Neither the model pays the photographer, nor the photographer pays the model. Both need photos for their portfolios, resulting in a mutually beneficial collaboration. There are many such communities on social media, especially in big cities. Third tip, try to find only those people for shooting who inspire you, who genuinely interest you. Otherwise, you won't enjoy the session and you'll lose motivation. So, choose a model that resonates with you. And the most important thing here is not to be afraid of rejections. Who am I to offer a shoot to such an amazing woman? Get rid of these thoughts. So she declines. So what? Try, suggest, and see how it goes. If you don't try, you'll regret it later. Fourth tip, what should you write to someone you want to arrange a shoot with? Be honest. Firstly, tell them that you really like them and how you'd love to photograph them. It'll make the person feel appreciated. Secondly, explain that you are a beginner photographer and that you aim to learn portrait photography. You have limited experience, but you're genuinely trying. Write in a way that helps them connect with your passion and feel compelled to assist you. However, avoid being overly pushy. Ensure that your social media profile is public and contains some information about you. Share your interests, what inspires you. Most importantly, have a photo of yourself there. Models also want to see what you look like. Trust is crucial. How can someone trust you when your profile picture is a cat and your account is private? Fifth tip. If you're a beginner photographer, you probably don't have a significant portfolio yet, but it's essential to intrigue a model with some beautiful photos. Find what's called references online. These are photos that you'll use as inspiration for your shoots. Inform the model that you'd like to emulate a certain style and attach a few of these inspiration photos to your message. And don't forget to bring these photos to the shoot to genuinely use them as a guide. It's very beneficial. Sixth tip. Preparing for the shoot is of utmost importance, especially concerning clothing choice. It's rare to leave the attire decision entirely up to the model. You need to control this aspect. Ask her to send you pictures of the selected outfits on her. Choosing the right clothing might be time-consuming, but it's crucial. You can't just rely on luck in this matter. I can't give you specific recommendations, but I know for sure that a portrait photographer must develop taste and a sense of style. Start with something simple and classic, without logos or graphics. Opt for timeless pieces that never go out of fashion. Seventh tip, people fear the unknown. If they don't know you, introduce yourself. If they don't understand your vision, show them references and explain the style you're aiming for. A person might be unsure about the shoot's proceedings. Discuss it with them in as much detail as possible. When and where you'll meet, what to bring, how to dress, and most importantly, what will happen with the photos afterward. For instance, I prefer to agree with the model that I'll only publish the photos they like. This approach reduces anxiety and fosters more trust. Fewer surprises make for a more comfortable shoot. Of course, always treat people with care and kindness, both in the preparation for and during the shoot. Regarding how to behave during the shoot, what to focus on, and how to work with the model, I'll be doing a separate video on that. So stay tuned, it's going to get even more exciting.